Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Mas Dianti SPD MPD dan saya adalah salah satu dosen dari Universitas Saweregani Makassar, khususnya pada prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Fakultas Sastra. Baiklah, pada kesempatan kali ini saya akan menjelaskan salah satu mata kuliah yang saya ampu pada semester genap, yaitu English Morphology. Baiklah, pada mata kuliah ini mahasiswa akan belajar unsur-unsur pembentuk kata dalam bahasa Inggris yang meliputi tataran linguistik, lebih khususnya yaitu morfologi bahasa Inggris. Melalui proses pembelajaran ini, mahasiswa akan mampu mengidentifikasi, menjelaskan, dan mengimplementasikan kaidah kebahasaan secara lisan dan tertulis dalam kehidupan sehari-hari maupun dalam komunikasi sehari-hari. Nah, untuk capaian pembelajaran pada mata kuliah English Morphology ini yang pertama yaitu mahasiswa diharapkan untuk mampu memahami konsep dasar dalam English Morphology, termasuk definisi morfem, tipe-tipe morfem, beserta contoh dan latihan mengenali morfem dalam kata. Kemudian yang kedua, mahasiswa diharapkan mampu menjelaskan types of morphemes dalam bentuk presentasi akademik dan juga diskusi. Dan yang ketiga, mahasiswa mampu menjelaskan word formation process dalam bentuk presentasi akademik dan juga diskusi. Dan yang terakhir, mahasiswa mampu melakukan analisis morfologi. Nah, untuk materi pembelajaran pada mata kuliah English Morphology ini meliputi yang pertama, basic concept of morphology dengan subbagian morfem, tipe-tipe morfem, dan contoh morfem di dalam kata. Dan yang kedua, types of morphemes dengan subbagian ada roots, affixes, stems, dan main parts of word to which affixes can be added. Dan yang ketiga ada word formation process dengan subbagian ada inflection versus derivation, affixation, compounding, and other words formation process seperti blending, clipping, and acronyms. Dan yang terakhir adalah morphological analysis dengan subbagian techniques for identifying and analyzing morphemes in words and constructing morphological traits to represent word structure. Baiklah, untuk sistem perkuliahan dilakukan secara luring dan juga daring. Sedangkan metode pembelajaran yang digunakan yakni menggunakan metode DIA. Di mana delivery ini adalah cara yang saya gunakan untuk menyampaikan materi pembelajaran pada mahasiswa dengan baik. Kemudian terdapat beberapa cara delivery yang saya lakukan, antara lain yang pertama yaitu metode ceramah. Nah, dalam metode ceramah saya menyampaikan materi secara verbal di mana mahasiswa akan mendengarkan dan mencatat poin-poin penting dalam metode ceramah. Dalam metode ceramah ini saya menggunakan PowerPoint, buku atau sumber lain dan juga internet seperti YouTube dan lain-lain yang saya sudah cek kredibilitasnya terlebih dahulu. Dan yang kedua yaitu metode diskusi. Saya biasanya membagi mahasiswa menjadi beberapa kelompok untuk saling berdiskusi dan juga akan materi yang sedang saya ajarkan. Nah, hal ini bertujuan untuk mengasah berpikir kritis siswa dan juga melatih public speaking siswa. Nah, untuk metode selanjutnya yaitu metode interaction, yaitu cara saya untuk berinteraksi dengan mahasiswa dalam proses pembelajaran. Adapun dalam metode interaction ini meliputi 3 hal. Yang pertama, memberikan ruang kepada mahasiswa untuk bertanya ataupun memberikan pertanyaan sehingga terbangun proses diskusi dan juga tanya jawab. Nah, yang kedua yaitu menggunakan grup WhatsApp agar memudahkan mahasiswa dan dosen untuk berdiskusi di mana saja dan kapan saja walaupun bukan di jam perkuliahan. Dan yang ketiga yaitu menggunakan Google Classroom sebagai tempat mahasiswa dalam mengumpulkan tugas dan saya memberikan feedback pada tugas yang mereka kumpulkan. Dan yang terakhir yaitu metode assessment, di mana saya memberikan penilaian dengan merujuk pada penilaian yang telah disepakati bersama di awal perkuliahan atau saat kontrak perkuliahan, di mana penilaiannya adalah kehadiran dan partisipasi sebesar 25%, tugas meliputi tugas individu, kelompok, dan presentasi sebesar 30%, ujian tengah semester sebesar 20%, dan ujian akhir semester sebesar 25%. Demikianlah penjelasan singkat tentang mata kuliah English Morphology. Nah, sekarang kita akan sama-sama menyaksikan video pembelajaran di kelas. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, first of all, let me say thank you for coming all, and then let's start our class by reciting basmalah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, so before we go into the lesson, I'd like to check the attendance list first, ya. Miss mau cek kehadirannya dulu. Okay, so we've got Rohayati, Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
and Adi Toto,
Present, ma'am.
Bunga, Where's Bunga?
Absent, ma'am.
Oh, absen. Okay, kemudian Anugrah.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. So the first slide, you can see here, I have a wise word here. This is education is one thing that no one can take away from you. Yeah. Is there anybody know the answer, the meaning of this word? Ada yang tahu nggak arti kata wise word ini? Raise your hand if you know it. Okay, so let's see. Education is one thing that no one can take away from you. Pendidikan adalah satu hal yang tidak akan ada orang lain yang bisa mengambilnya dari kamu. Okay, so education is very important, guys. And then wherever you go, it will be with you. Yeah. Okay, you're coming late. Yeah. Okay, it's okay. Now let's jump into the next section. So before we go into the main lesson, I have a game. We have a game here. I don't know, is it a game or what is it? I don't know what is the name. Tongue twister, yeah? Have you ever heard this word before?
Yes.
What is tongue twister? What is tongue twister? Yes, Tova?
To practice our mouth, our tongue, and our chin to produce the English word.
Okay, very good. Well done, Tova, yeah? So tongue twister is used to train our mouth, our tongue, our muscles to produce English, ya. Jadi tongue twister dipakai untuk melatih lidah, mulut, dan otot-otot di wajah kita untuk mengucapkan bahasa Inggris. Okay, so the more you practice English, the more you will be fluent in speaking English, ya. So you have to practice English every day, every time, if possible, ya. Okay, so we have here, the kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen. So you will be following me, you will be follow after me, ya. Ikuti Miss. Setelah Miss ucapkan, kalian yang ucapkan, ya. Okay, so the kitten, do you know what is the meaning of this word? This sentence? Ya, anak kucing sudah makan ayam di dalam telur. Ya. Okay, so after me you will repeat, ya. The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
Okay, so after this, you are going to read this word, this sentence in one breath. Yeah. Okay, I will repeat again, and then you will follow me. Yeah. The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
Okay, one more time. The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
Okay, now I will ask you one by one. Yeah. Okay, who will try? Toto. Okay, can you try? Please. Yeah.
The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
Okay, very well. Ya, lumayan lah. Oke, lumayan cepat. Who's next? Who wants to try again? You? Agung?
The kitten has eaten the chicken in the kitchen.
Okay, very well done. Okay, guys, now let's jump into the next section. Okay, before we go into the next section, we will be review our previous lesson. Yeah. Do you still remember our previous lesson? Last week?
What class?
What we have discussed in the previous meeting. So in the previous meeting, we have discussed about word class. What is word class? And give me example of word class. Raise your hand if you know it. Who can review? What is the word class? And the example? Come on, raise your hand. Guys? Okay, and the Toto again. Where's word class?
Word class it's like lexical class
Yeah.
and functional class.
Okay.
For the lexical class is like verb, noun,
Okay,
adjective, and
yeah.
verb. Example verb is
Hmm?
go, and have,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and
And so on. Ya, dan seterusnya. Oke, very well. Good answer from Toto ya. Ada yang lain lagi yang bisa jawab? So, one class is divided into two types. Ya, the first one is lexical words. Ya, and the second one is the functional words. Ya, so the lexical words consist of verb, noun, adjective, and adverb. Okay. So, what is the example of verb? Raise your hand if you know it. What is the example of verb? Come on, raise your hand, guys. Example of verb. Kata kerja verb. Apa itu? Coba sebutkan contohnya. Okay.
Work.
Yes, sorry.
work.
Example of verb. Kata kerja.
Go,
Go. What else?
eat,
Eat. Makan.
run,
Run. Berlari. Okay. Adjective. Kata sifat.
handsome,
Handsome, oke. Adverb, kata keterangan. Apa contohnya? Fast, fastly, dengan cepat. Atau quickly, ya, dengan cepat. Oke. Now, functional words. So, functional word consists of preposition, conjunction, determiner, and interjection, ya. So, preposition is like, who can give example of prepositions? Anybody know it? Ya, ada preposition. In, and on. Okay, so that's the yang paling banyak itu in, on, dan at ya. Tapi sebenarnya ada banyak sekali listnya prepositions ya. How about conjunction? Conjunction. Conjunction kata hubung seperti apa? Ada and,
or,
because ya. Nah, ini terbagi-bagi lagi nanti ya. Ada namanya coordinate conjunction, ada namanya subordinate conjunction ya. Kemudian ada determiner. What is determiner? You know it? What is determiner? Contohnya? The, a, and an. Ya. Interjection. Interjection? Oops. Oh. Ya. Okay. So that's all for our review today. And then before we jump into the next section, is there any questions about word class that we have discussed in the previous meeting? Ada pertanyaan nggak sebelum kita lanjut ke sebelumnya? Oke. And it's all. What's your question?
about word class, what kind of word class about hello or hi?
Oke, what kind of word class? Ya,
Yeah.
masuk jenis kata apa ya? Halo.
Hello and hi.
Oke, so halo dan hai itu masuk kategori interjection kan? Oke, halo, hai atau ungkapan kaget, oops, oh wow, like that. Oke, itu masuk kategori interjection ya. Ada lagi? Any else? No more? Okay, no more? Okay, no more? Okay, so now let's see our learning objective today. So today we have a target. We have two targets for today's lesson. The first one is the students are able to understand morphemes. Ya, siswa bisa memahami apa itu morfem. Itu target kita hari ini. And the second one is students are able to know the type of free and bound morphemes. Ya, siswa mengetahui tipe free and bound morpheme. Ya, jadi tipe free and bound artinya morfem yang bebas dan terikat. Okay, we are going to discuss after this. So next, okay. Before that, let me review give you our brief overview of the lesson for today. The first one we're gonna talking about definition of free and bound morphemes. Ya, jadi hari ini kita akan belajar pengertian bound morpheme ya. Morphemes bebas dan morphemes terikat. And the second one we're gonna talking about example of free and bound morphemes ya. Contoh apa saja yang masuk morphemes bebas dan morpheme terikat. And the next one we're gonna talking about types of affixes ya, tipe-tipe affixes atau bagian dari bound morphemes. And the last one we will be having a mini quiz. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is the main lesson for today. What is free and bound morphemes? Yeah. But before that, do you still remember what is the definition of morpheme? Masih ingat nggak apa itu morphemes? Who still remember our previous lesson? Yeah, in the previous lesson we have discussed about morphemes, right? Kita sudah mempelajari pengertian dari morphemes. Morphemes itu apa? Bukan yang what is morphemes? Okay, Nurhayati.
Is the smallest unit of language and has meaning.
Okay, very well done. Yes, so that's the answer of morphemes. Let me repeat the morphemes definition again. Okay, so today we're gonna talk we will be classify the morphemes into two types. Kita akan klasifikasikan morpheme ini menjadi ke dalam dua tipe ya. The first one is free morpheme ya, morpheme yang bebas. Okay, so free morpheme. Now let's take a look at the example of free and bound morphemes. Now you can see dogs here, yeah. Okay, when you see dogs here, it's only one word. But as you know, these dogs has two morphemes. Terdiri menjadi dua morphemes ya. Apa saja? Jadi dibagi menjadi dog. Ini adalah free morpheme as word, bisa berdiri sendiri menjadi satu kata. And as here as a bound morpheme ya, dia tidak bisa berdiri sendiri ya. So bound morpheme cannot stand alone as a word. It should be attached with another morpheme. Harus dipasangkan atau harus diletakkan dengan morpheme yang lain ya. So the second example is unhappiness ya, unhappiness. Can you guess which one is free and which one is bound morpheme here? Okay. So we can divide this word into three morphemes ya. Kita bisa membagi ke dalam tiga morphemes. Ada yang tahu nggak? Oke, Agung.
Yang free morpheme itu happy.
Oke, happy. We divide it into three ya.
Bound morpheme itu un sama ness.
Okay, good, very good. So un here is free morpheme ya. And then the second one, this is bound morpheme, and this is free morpheme, as it can stand alone, and this is bound morpheme. So in this one word, we have three morphemes. Kita punya tiga morphemes ya, yang terdiri dari bound, free, and bound morpheme. So free is in the middle ya. The third one is enumerable. Okay, who can divide into morpheme? This word. Siapa yang bisa mengubahnya menjadi beberapa morpheme? Yes? Okay, Nurhayati?
Moral for free morpheme. A for bound.
So a moral we divide it into two morphemes ya. Okay, we divide it first like this ya. So A is bound and moral is free morpheme. Okay, very well done. And the last one is curiosity. Who can divide this into morphemes? Agung?
Free-nya itu yang
Okay,
curious.
we divide first ya. We divide into curious.
Curious. Bound-nya itu.
Okay, so curious is free or bound morpheme?
Free.
Okay, so this is a free morpheme and ET?
Bound.
Okay, very well done. So you have understand about this lesson, yeah? Okay. As we can see from this lesson just now, we can see that in one word, it will be more than one morpheme, yeah, morpheme. be bound, free, and apa ini? Bound morpheme. And this one will be second morpheme, bound and free. And this one curious, yeah, free and bound morpheme. So the process of putting or adding free with the free morpheme with the bound morpheme, we call it as an affixes. Ya, jadi affixes itu adalah kata lain dari bound morpheme atau imbuhan dalam bahasa Indonesia ya. Ya, we call that term as affixes. Okay, so let's see what is affixes. Is there any question before we jump? Yes.
Does the bound morpheme change the meaning of the free morpheme?
Okay, the question is, does the bound morpheme change the meaning? Okay. Apakah bound morpheme bisa mengubah arti atau makna dari kata? Yes, the answer is yes, of course, ya. Jadi, let's take a look at the example again. If we see the definition of morpheme, you still remember the definition of morpheme is the smallest unit of language that has meaning, memiliki arti. Okay, for example, ya, friendly. Friend, if you define this, friend is a noun, kan? Kata benda, kan? Nah, when we put a bound morpheme here, ketika kita tambahkan ly di sini sebagai bound morpheme, it will be changed, becomes adjective, berubah. Yang tadinya friend, artinya apa friend? Teman. Menjadi friendly, apa artinya? Ramah. Ya, berubah arti langsung. Yang tadinya teman menjadi ramah. Oke, so it totally changed. Ya. So, ada lagi yang mau bertanya? Nomor? The second example, tiniest. Ya. Now, we will play the game. I say this is a game, but actually this is not really a game. Yeah. Okay. Actually, this is a practice of walking or practicing bound and free morphemes. Yeah. So I want you to do this. I want you to categorize these words into free morpheme and bound morpheme. Ya, Miss mau kalian kerjakan ini ya, yang mana masuk kategori free morpheme dan bound morpheme. Oke, let me give you example. Ini contohnya ya, misalnya pada kata useful ya, ini terdiri dari dua morpheme ya. Yang pertama ada use ya, use. Di sini free morpheme and full as a bound morpheme, and then you will put in this column.
discuss about how to understand what is the morpheme and what type of morphemes. And morpheme is the smallest unit which has meaning, and there are two types of morphemes. First is free morphemes, and second is bound morphemes. And then we discuss also about affixes, which is a bound morpheme too. Affixes can also change the meaning of the free morpheme. For example, like free morpheme happy plus bound morpheme is become happiest.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. Like that.
Okay, so thank you. Anugrah, yeah. Sorry for mistaken. Mention your name. Yeah, as you know that I have trouble in memorizing some names. Yeah. Okay, so you will have a homework for next week. Yeah. So the homework is please find. It's okay. It's easy. Yeah. The homework is easy. So I want you to find 5 words that consist prefix and 5 words that consist suffix and 5 words consist with infix. Okay, so the total will be 15 words that you are going to find, and then next week we are going to discuss about that. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So I think it's enough. Yeah, so this is the wise word for the lesson. Masa depan adalah milik mereka yang menyiapkannya hari ini. Okay, so I think that's all because the time is up. Thank you for coming, guys, and then I'll see you next week again in this classroom again, yeah, or by